Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we are going to do a Sketchbook Sunday using the supplies from the new Smartartbox. Now I'm kind of excited about this one because it came with a lot of supplies that I was really looking forward to using. So we're going to go through the different supplies as I reveal them, and I've actually already done the project, so the cool thing about this is I'll be able to kind of tell you about it as each product as we go. Of course, you get the brochure with an idea on it, and you get the supplies to create your projects. So this ink right here, I was super excited to get because this is my favorite fountain pen waterproof ink. It's the Pen and Ink brand. I think it's actually might be made by Art Alternatives. I bought a bottle of this about 10 years ago at a local art supply store, and I was just about using mine up. I refill my fountain pens with it and my refillable brush pens, and it is waterproof, but it doesn't clog the pens, so this is excellent, and it's about $12 on Amazon, so I was super psyched that it was included in this box. This mixed media sketchbook, I have to say I wasn't that thrilled with it for pen and ink. It bled through. I did try it with watercolor as well, which you'll see. That is $11.30 on Amazon. This brush was over $8 on Amazon. It's a number 4 Filbert watercolor brush by Da Vinci. It was $8.43, but I wasn't that keen on it for a watercolor. I'd use it for gouache or watercolor crayons. This is a white Jelly Roll pen. Not my favorite white pen. It goes for about $2 to $3. I prefer a Uniball Signo myself, but you know, it does a trick. It's a little bit finer than the Uniball Signo I use, and this is a Pentel Aquash Black pen, and I was excited to have this. I do like to use black ink pens, and it's not a super dark black, so you're going to want to use the black pen and ink that came with that for your deeper blacks. And this is a brush pen. It was the Zebras and Zentations brush pen, and that actually worked really well, and I enjoyed it, and I used it on the watercolor piece. And these are 2 bottles of liquid watercolor that are pigmented liquid watercolor by Marabou. I could not find those for sale individually, only in sets. A set of 6 was $30 on Amazon, but it was only $13 at Jerry's Artorama, so if you're looking for that, that'd be the way to go, because typically bottles of liquid ink that have pigments in them, which I looked on the website, they do contain regular pigments like artist watercolors. They're usually around $5 to $9 a bottle, so that's kind of nice to try those out there, but I would honestly buy a set because you'll get more versatility from them. So here I was just trying out the pens in the sketchbook to see how it behaved, see what kind of marks I could get from this brush pen. I really enjoyed that pen. I'll use that again to accent some watercolor pieces, I think. Now, to get the Pentel Aquash brush going, you want to remove that red band and do not put it back on. If you put that back on when you're done using it, you're going to have a leaky mess that gets thrown in the trash or gets recycled into another project, because your pen will leak like crazy if you try to put that back on. So after you've removed the ink, just give it a squirt like on over a plate or something, so it's going to drip. Get that ink flowing into the bristles, and then you can just gently squeeze the barrel if you need to feed more ink. If you're going slow, the ink is going to feed out on its own just fine, but if you need more ink, I recommend doing that over a little cup or a palette or something so you don't get a blob of ink on your artwork. So just kind of keep that in mind, and I'm just doodling here just to kind of get an idea of how these pens are going to work on the paper. The paper has a little bit of tooth to it, which means it's got some grain, and if you want a solid line, you got to go slower. This is definitely more of your mixed media paper, more so than like a marker paper or a pen and ink paper, so you just want to keep that in mind. And I also wanted to take a look at these inks and get a little bit out of my palette so I would be ready to use it when I start my project. Now, I here tried pouring it and I made a big mess, and I dripped some on the papers, which is actually a good thing, so I'll get to see how absorbent those papers are and how the ink flows through. And then I realized I have a pipette like literally a foot away from me, so I grabbed a pipette to get my my other inks out so that I wouldn't make a mess of the bottle and my table and my sketchbook. So as always for Sketchbook Sunday, I do a time lapse, and I've started off with a pencil that did not come in the kit, but pretty much all of us have a pencil, and I started to sketch out a skull. I found the photo on Unsplash, and I will link it below in case you want to follow along, and basically I just wanted to get some framework down before I went in with the ink. I don't use ink all that frequently, so I figured having a sketch would be helpful for me. I started off with my basic shapes. I did a kind of like a circle for kind of the skull minus the jaw, and then I did kind of have like a box for the jaw area, and then just kind of sketched in what I saw. I enjoyed the fact that the skeleton head, it was kind of like a classroom skeleton posed. I enjoyed that it had like the hands up around the face, and I wanted to put those in there. Plus, I need to get better at drawing hands. I find that's a weakness of mine, and I need some practice. So being able to see the bones of the hands in this photo was really helpful and something I wanted to try just to kind of build my own skills as an artist. Now, the reason I actually have a chance to do a normal Sketchbook Sunday video this month or this week is because my figure drawing class that I'm taking, figure painting class, has a week off, so I don't have to be working on that project, which is really nice to have a little break. I'm enjoying it, but I'm glad to have a break. So here I am using the Pentel Aquash medium black ink, or light black ink rather, pen to fill in the background. I decided to wet kind of the edges to see if I could diffuse that ink a little bit, and it worked a bit, but you know, this paper really isn't like a watercolor paper. It's not really a marker paper. It's kind of porous and rough. The colors do stay nice and bright on it, and the lines are pretty crisp if you don't pre-wet them, but I was just kind of getting used to this paper. It's definitely not typical of other papers that I've used. The ink does bleed through to the back. I think this might have bled through a sheet. It's onto the back of this sheet and then onto the next one. So if you're going to work in this, if you get this box, which you would already have it by now if you got it, if you subscribe to Smartartbox today, you wouldn't get this. So if you're going to use this, what you might want to do, or what you might end up doing, is actually gessoing the back sides of the pages, or using an absorbent ground if you want to do watercolor and not have it bleed through. Honestly, what I usually do is just work on the page, and if it happens to bleed through and mess up the next page, then I will gesso that page so I can work over it, or I'll incorporate whatever ink blots happen onto my next piece of artwork. So I was really keen on this liquid watercolor. I actually thought it was an acrylic ink when I first started because of the viscosity of it, but no, it's actually a pigmented watercolor. And I went to the Marabou website, and it tells you what pigments, like the blue is PB15:3 and PG7, so that would be your phthalo blue and phthalo green. The magenta, it was one of the pigment reds, I can't remember, I think maybe 122, I'm not 100% sure, but they're tried and true pigments, so that was nice to see. So they're not going to fade on you like some inks will, so that's nice if you want to like branch off and use that in other paintings. And I was just basically mixing those colors to get different shades or different values in my sketch, so it wouldn't just be plain black and white. Especially since adding water to the ink on this paper was I wouldn't get a really smooth transition like I might with watercolor paper. And I was just playing and experimenting, and with Sketchbook Sunday, that's what I like to do. I don't like to have huge expectations. I just like to kind of play and see what my materials do. I like that I could layer up that light black ink and get different values, so that was kind of handy. If I wanted a super dark, I could go in with that the black fountain pen ink with my paintbrush. Honestly, just like, and I've said this before with the SmartArt boxes, you can see the bleed through there. I wish that they had bigger brushes. Granted, I have bigger brushes and I could grab a bigger brush, but if somebody is using these boxes as a way to get into different medias, it would be nice to have a big brush. I know that beginners tend to like smaller brushes, but I think one of the best things you can do is use a big brush. So I'm using the Jelly Roll pen here just to add some kind of cracks and texture into the bones there, just for kind of some fun sketchiness. It wasn't in the photo that I was following, but I just liked it. I thought it gave it a little bit of texture and interest, and I also wanted to see how that pen would stand up, and it actually did a pretty decent job. I would use it in instances where I didn't want a really thick white line like my Gel Impact gel pen by Uniball Sigma gives me. So here I thought, well, I didn't really love the ink on this paper, so why don't I try my watercolors? Now, of course, the watercolors do not come in this set. That's something I had, but I thought it would be fun to try it just to see. So initially, when I was painting with the watercolors on here, I thought, oh, they look so dull and blah. But when they dried, they were luminous and beautiful. So this really reminded me of painting on rice paper, because rice paper is so absorbent that when you paint on it, your colors just look really dark and blah. But when they dry, they're luminous. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. It was definitely like working on a Sumi E paper, and I had fun with this little sketch here. And after drying that, now I will tell you that the watercolors did bleed through the back because it's so absorbent, but I didn't get a ton of feathering lines, which I was surprised because usually if it's that absorbent that you get all these like feathering lines. But no, the line stayed pretty crisp on the front. So after drying, I realized that I hadn't used that brush pen yet, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to grab that and add some accent lines and give it that kind of sumi-y look. And I just really loved how this watercolor sketch came out. It was from my imagination and just really quick, but it was so much fun, and I'm glad I tried that on this paper, and that's what I'm going to use this sketchbook for, is just quick little watercolor flower sketches. I hope this helped you. If you got this box, I hope you give some of these projects a try, and if you'd like to subscribe to Smart Art, you can find them at smartartbox.com, and I will have a link in the video description. Thanks for watching. Happy Sketchbook Sunday. Until next time, happy crafting.